Hey guys, how you doing? Steve Lab here. Just a little weekend vlog. It's Sunday, February 22nd, 2015. Just a little vlog, talk about a couple of things that's going on. Up here in the Northeast this year, we really got slammed with a lot of snow. And the deal is, the solar vortex or whatever they're saying coming from uh, down from Canada type of thing, and the snow's not melting; it's just staying here. We got probably 3 feet in different areas, like over the whole area where it's just not melting; it's just there. So, spring's on its way. Another month or so, spring will be here, but there's no relief in sight as far as melting in the forecast. It's below freezing all the time. So, when it does thaw out, there's going to be a lot of flooding going on, and which is good for me, sub pump work and whatnot. So just it's really been something. This global warming. Oh, the planet has a fever. Al Gore says the planet has a fever. I don't think so. It's just been crazy cold, And I'm 50, and I've never seen this much snow last so long. In my area, usually it snows, and then a couple of 3 days or a week later, the snow's all gone. Then we get more snow, but it's just stayed and stayed and stayed. There's areas in the city next to where I work. I won't even go in there unless I can park in the guy's driveway. The streets are so bad, there's no place to park in the streets. There's just snow everywhere. They're actually going in there with bulldozers and front end loaders and taking the snow off the streets and putting them in dump trucks and trying to take it away. That's how bad it is. The National Guard is in the city trying to get the snow out of there. That's how bad it is. It's just not going anywhere, and it's terrible. There's one lane going down the middle of the street that they plowed, and then all the rest is just a disaster. So I've been turning work down left and right, in the city. As far as I'm not going in there unless I can park somewhere in the guy's driveway, and it's too bad I got to turn a lot of work down. But I'm not going to go into the city and get stuck. I have no place to park. I'm talking about the New Bedford, Fall River area where I'm from. I'm 1 hour south of Boston, Massachusetts. So, yeah, I got some, people have been asking me different questions, so I like to answer them in the vlogs here. Some guys that asked me about the PVC piping. Now, I work all residential for the most part, so in my state, any commercial building has to be cast iron or copper for drains. No PVC is allowed in commercial buildings unless it's a hairdressing salon. There's a couple of different places where you could use the PVC. But I got people ask me about the ABS. There's regular white PVC, red label, and then there's foam core PVC, which is a lower grade. And then there's ABS PVC, which is a black PVC. And people have asked me about the ABS. Well, up my way, nobody uses ABS. We just don't use it. We see it in trailers and stuff like that, but other than that, none of the supply houses carry it, and we just don't use it. ABS is more of a southern piping that they use. It's actually pretty good because it doesn't expand as much as the PVC, but we just don't use it. So that's my take on the ABS. I think it's thinner and it's more brittle than the regular PVC, in my opinion. I have worked with it a couple of times. I don't use the foam core at all. It's a cheaper PVC, and it's got more air bubbles in the outer. They call it foam core. It's got more air bubbles in the outer casing of the PVC, and when it first came out, a lot of the guys were trying to pressure test it, like when they did a new house, and they would try to pressure test it, and they would have leaks, in the foam core up through the vents and stuff. It wouldn't hold an air pressure test, the foam core. So I just don't use the stuff. It's lower grade, and I don't use it. So that's my take on the PVC drain stuff there with the piping. In my state, Massachusetts, we have a whole different code. We got a Massachusetts plumbing code, which the Massachusetts plumbing code incorporates the gas code. The gas code's in the plumbing code. When we go to continuing education, we have to do what is it? 12 hours a year 6 and 6, 12 hours every 2 years we have to do, two classes. Now, the gas fitters, which is, you could be a gas fitter or you could be a plumber. If you're a plumber, you could work on gas. It covers the gas. But if you're just a gas fitter, you can only work on gas piping. But you have to have that license. It's a hard license to get, a gas fitter. Most of the only guys that are gas fitters are the guys that work for the gas company, pretty much. Unless you're a plumber. So when you go to the continuing education course, you got 6 hours, you got 12 hours, but it's 2 courses, so you got 6 hours in one day. Now the gas fitters only have to go for 3 hours because they're only like half of it. So I know down south a lot of the guys work on gas pipe if they have an HVAC license, but that's not like that in my state. So anything to do with gas is either has to be done by a plumber or a gas fitter, which, covers the gas license. So I know every state's different. It depends on where you live. And, but that's the deal there with the gas license. I get people ask me about that a lot of times. And the plumbing license is a hard license to get because you have to work for a master plumber for 4 years before you can go for your license, and you have to prove that you worked for that master plumber. And once you start working for the master plumber, he has to register you as an apprentice plumber. And if he don't register you, your time don't count. In my state, unless what the difference between a journeyman and a master plumber is? A journeyman plumber, you can have your own business, you can work for yourself, but you can't hire nobody. You can't hire an apprentice, you can't hire nobody. You can work by yourself alone. The journeyman license covers just the working part of it. Now, the master plumber, if you're a master plumber, you could hire people. You could have apprentices, journeymen, as many guys as you want. A master license allows you to hire people, apprentices, and whatnot. I have both. I went to get my journeyman, and then I went to get my master license, which was a little bit hard. The master was harder. Journeyman was tough too, but it was a good license to get. And I got a lot of licenses. I got 10 flipping licenses. 10. I got 2 in Rhode Island that I don't really use, but I'm up to 10 licenses. I got all, I could have got the sprinkler fitter license, but I didn't really need that, and I don't want the son of a gun. I don't want to be a sprinkler fitter. That's like a whole nother racket. But getting back to what, some of the questions I get asked about, the cast iron pipe and, different things about cast iron pipe. How come, in my state, if you got no hub, there's 3 different kinds of cast iron. There's no hub, which is cast iron pipe that's got clamps and drainage fittings that you'd clamp the fittings together with the no hub clamps. And then you got the service weight, which is a new style cast iron that's got the hub on it. Either use a rubber gasket or lead and oakum. And then back in the day, we had the extra heavy cast iron pipe that's got the hub on it, and you'd caulk the joints and whatnot. And a lot of times I'll do a repair. If there's cast iron on both sides, you're supposed to go back with the cast iron. That's the code. A lot of guys will say, "Whoa, why didn't you use PVC in the middle?" Well, in my state, you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to go with the cast iron. If there's cast iron on both sides, you go back with cast iron. If you got a stack that's going up and it's all cast iron, you got to put cast iron in the middle. If you're going up with cast iron and then the rest from there up is going to be PVC, that's fine. You can go with PVC. But you can't, mix it. Mix and match in the middle of stuff. You're not supposed to do that. And if I'm in a commercial building, you can't use it anyway. But I try to, run my business residential. I like residential work. I found that residential work is easy for me. I don't have to worry about parking and going some of these, nothing wrong with commercial work, but I rather do residential. I just found that that's where I like to abide, and that's where I like to fly with the residential stuff. I built my business that way. When I first started, I was in the union for 12 years. I did all commercial work, all commercial. And then I got out and started my own business and went into the residential arena, and I like it there. But I'm only a one-man show, so I pick and choose what I do, and sometimes it makes a difference. There's guys on YouTube that do all commercial work, and, it's a whole different realm. But, nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. You just have to do what you enjoy doing in your job. Then I get, sometimes I get people that call me on the phone asking me for advice and different things that they're doing and their heating system, and they don't get any heat. Could it be? What could it be? Could it be the circulator? Could it be air? It's hard to say, guys. Unless I'm looking there unless I'm there at the system and I can see what you have. Sometimes it's hard to diagnose something over the phone and you're not looking at it, because there's so many different scenarios you could have with different hydronic systems, different type of zone valves, different type of purge stations, different type of systems that have monoflow T's or old-fashioned radiators, or you got a copper loop, and it's not all black and white. Some stuff, you have to look at it and decide, maybe the circulator's bad, maybe your relay's bad, maybe you got a bad flow check, maybe you got zone valves, maybe the zone valve's bad. So sometimes it's hard. I try to help people out the best I can, but sometimes it is hard to talk to people. Especially, I had one lady recently that called me on the phone, and she had no heat, and she just didn't know what she was talking about. As far as I'd ask her a question, and she wasn't coming back with the answers that I could figure out what the hell she was even had there over the phone. And I was on the phone with her for like a half an hour in between jobs, and I got to the point where I just had to hang up on her. I couldn't help the lady, and she got all bullshit at me, and it's like, lady, I'm asking you questions so you can tell me what you have in front of you so I can maybe try to help you in a direction you need to go. And she was just flipping clueless. Talking to her, she's saying, well, she got a zone valve control. Well, I'm trying to tell her, talking to her about the zone valves. Well, do you have zone valves, Takeo, Honeywell? They 4-wire, 3-wire, and she just couldn't come back with any kind of response to me. And I got a little frustrated because I couldn't help the lady. But she actually got bullshit and started leaving all kinds of nasty comments on my stuff, as far as, oh my God, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about, and this and that. And it's like, man, I just couldn't help the woman. So I have to be careful. I'll help anybody out, but you have to be on the other end of the phone with a flipping, a clue or what the hell you're talking about, If you don't know what a bowling ball looks like, or what a bowling ball is called, it's hard to explain to somebody. Well, if it's a bowling ball, it's got 3 holes. You have to stick your fingers in the holes and roll it down the aisle. Oh, what's a bowling ball? My ball don't have 3 holes. But anyway, I'll help anybody out that I can. But I'm not tech support either. Some of this stuff's not always, cut and dry, black and white. There's a lot of variables on different things, but I try my best. The longer I do this, some of these stories I come across, sometimes it's funny. But anyway, just a little vlog, just kind of, chewing the fat, getting to talk to my subs and stuff. And I want to, do a shout out to all my subscribers that leave comments on my channel. You guys keep me going, with the channel, with the comments. And I do it for you guys. I get haters that come through. I got guys that hate on me, and it's all good. What do I care? People gonna hate on you. Doesn't matter. Haters are gonna hate, and it's like that with any station. You put yourself out there on YouTube, you're gonna get haters. You see all the thumbs down I get on some stuff. Well, whatever. Some guys are just. Whatever. I'm not even going to mention it. People want to hate on me, they can hate on me. Doesn't really matter in the whole scheme of things, because it ain't never going to stop me. It's all good. It's all good. Well, anyway, I want to say thanks to all the loyal subscribers and the guys that comment on my stuff, because my station's built, on the backs of the subscribers. And so the new guys, you leave comments. We get to know each other through the comments. So, have a good day, and more videos to come.